Welcome back to the channel. In this one we're going to look at GeForce NOW running on the Absolute. So this is an Android app running on the Absolute, giving us cloud gaming. So I've tried Hot Wheels Unleashed in a previous video, you can check that out if you want. And I've tried some other games just to see how they perform. And I have to say I'm actually relatively impressed. Okay, can get a bit of latency now and then, occasional dropped frames. Remember, this is a cloud streaming service. And it's not like where I normally stream from my home PC, my Minis Forum PC. There's no contention on that, it's just me playing on that machine. This, you're basically on a server. So, you know, there's the potential for a little bit of contention there when it comes to resources. We'll try a couple of these games. I'll try Wreckfest first. Now, I've got that game on Steam, I'm pretty sure. Now, this is a good example because I'm going to test these games initially on my Absolute, and then I'm going to test them on the Windows app that you can install on the, or any Windows device, but I've got it installed on my iNeo AirPlus 1215U. Good example, because the results are not what you'd expect. Watch on for more info. So I've mentioned this before, there's always a little bit of a stutter there when Steam remote play loads. I've noticed that on my home PC. But one thing I will say is, did you notice initially that loaded as a window and then full screened? Now that's not always something you see on Windows for some reason in GeForce NOW. Some games will load in a window with the GeForce Experience background. So let's just test this. So I'm not going to do multiplayer, we're just going to do career mode, and we're going to do a race that I have currently unsuccessful at, but it's a good one to try as any. Where is it? Okay, I've got a race in here somewhere, let's see if I can find it. Ah, this is the one. The Big Valley Speedway, where you've got to finish first. Maybe I've got to upgrade my car, but I've not managed to successfully complete this one yet, but it's a good one to see. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to quit initially. I'm going to show you the settings that we're running. So I'm on my usual distant internet connection, so I'll be getting no more than 80 megabits out here. And if we go into settings somewhere, where would that be? Settings, here we go. We're on 1980 by 1080, 1920 by 1080, 60 by 9, full screen. VSync is enabled in this case, we'll leave that on. Graphics is set to high. Texture high, shadow medium. All the rest stuff's high. Ultra for car detail. Motion blur's enabled, blah, turn that off. Vignetting's on. Pretty much just left everything on. 2x MSA anti-aliasing in. Turn the volume below. Now you see I've got slightly poor connection there initially. It's usually the 3 or 4 bars. Again, I am in a poor reception area, I would say. Worst part of my house, but this is where I film my content, so. Now this game runs on my iNeo AirPlus, but really badly, like basically hardly hits 30 FPS, if I remember correctly. It's just about playable. And there's a few stutters there, we're getting a bit of frame dropping. Oh, I spun myself out there, that was pretty unsuccessful. And now we're almost dead last, in fact we will be in a minute. It's pretty brutal this. And it also seems that you take a lot more damage than everyone else. As you can see though, looks pretty decent. Oops. Typical bad driving by me. Now I could do a very long form factor video and do lots of different styles of games, but I think I'll just split it down into shorter games. just makes for easier consumption, I think. So today I'm doing racing games, tomorrow I'll do something else. Could be third person shooter or something else anyway. Oh, took that car out. And there's a little stutter there as well, I think. I might not even finish this race. There was a big stutter there as well. Oh, and a huge stutter there. Now we're actually seeing a message saying packet loss at the top of the screen. So I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, this runs terrible on the Absolute. Well, that tends to bear that suggestion out, but I don't think we'll see much of an improvement on the Neo. Oh my goodness. Thought I was just going to skiff him, but... Oh. I'm lucky I finished dead last. Oh, come on. Let me turn. Oh, and I'm wrecked. Now, one thing I like about the Absolute is you turn that on and when you've unlocked it, you're ready to rock and roll. This is Windows. You're waiting ages for it to boot up. And INEO, particularly the INEO space software, takes a while to load. Anyway, I've added an icon here for GeForce Now, and I thought I had an issue with this, but it turns out that the Windows app is just really rubbish. Finally, second attempt. So I'll chalk that up as 1 win for the Absolute. It's much easier to load the game. Okay, but the controls worked fine when the game's up and running, so that's fair enough. Let's have a look at settings again. Still 1920 by 1080, 16 by 9. It's kept all the graphics basically, that's good. So, transformed a smidge. So let's just try the same race. So on the Absolute, we saw some frame drops. Unfortunately, we don't have the same metrics up on screen. You can load metrics up with there. There was a big frame stutter there, did you notice that? And another one there, just as we had that collision there was a stutter. So I'm less inclined to believe that there's big issues with the Absolute because GeForce runs better on other devices. It's not really been my experience. I've had, there's a little stutter there. I've had bad experiences on multiple devices. However, I think because the Absolute promised so much at its budget price, I think people expect a lot. I mean, in this case I'm actually a bit closer to the front, but I've never successfully managed to complete this race in first place. Of course, today could be the day. Oofed, big huge hitch there as well, just when I got hit with that other car. So the game looks a little bit darker on this screen now. I've got the brightness turned, I had it turned right up in the Absolute, and it's probably a little bit over midway on this, so that might be what's causing that, to be honest. Now I'm not going to say GeForce Now is flawed in itself. I think it's actually a pretty good concept. It just doesn't always work perfectly. But then it's cloud gaming. You've got to expect occasional imperfections. Particularly, I've seen this in Xbox Game Pass as well, you know, but I've seen it a bit less on my own local streaming, I have to say, my own local PC, and that's because I know exactly what that machine's doing. It doesn't run anything spurious, it's only me connecting to it. I've got a fast internet connection in the home, so I get and I expect a pretty good connection. By the way, if you've never played Wreckfest, it's quite a good fun game. Can be tricky. Still a lot of fun though. Bit of wall running there, that wasn't really what I planned on doing, but... Oofed. So I will be doing a lot more GeForce cloud gaming over the coming weeks, just because I've signed up for a few months, and I can see the potential of this. Obviously it's been around for quite a while. I never really signed up for it before just because I prefer to set up my own cloud setup, and the fact that I have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, I got that for free as part of my broadband deal, so I wouldn't normally have paid for that. Oh, there was a stutter there. Now there may have been slightly less stutters on the INEO than there has been on the Absolute, but it's still quite a few. There's a little one there, I think. It's maybe on a couple of frame drops, but another one there actually. Concentrating now because I want to see if I can get to the front. It seems unlikely. On the final lap. Certainly can't pass 5 cars in front of me, but they might have a pile up. Oh my god, look at that. So anyone that wants to say it's the Absolute that's having the issues, that's clearly not the case there, was it? That was absolutely horrendous. No, I did did not finish on the last race, and I've managed to claw myself up to 4th, but that's not down to that's not down to any skills. Oh my god! Oh, and I actually came 5th in the end because I panelled into that car, but I still failed that task. So, what can I say? I quite like GeForce Now as a platform, but it could improve. It's not as good as Xbox Game Pass, I don't think. Although there is the advantage that you get to play games from your own library on the GeForce Now experience, which is quite good. If you pay for the Ultimate, you get access to some new games as well that you don't have. I haven't done that yet. I might. We'll see how we get on. So, yeah. Not really sure the angle I was coming at for this video. Was I looking at a point of view of is the Absolute any good with GeForce Now, or is GeForce Now any good? Full stop. I would say that the Absolute did okay, but it never did any better than the INEO, to be honest. They both exhibited frame issues. Well, now, was that the devices or was that the cloud solution? I would probably put it down to the cloud solution more than anything else. So, yeah. take what you will from that. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next video. Oh, and remember, subscribe. Bye for now.